Hello, everybody, and welcome back to That's Football. I've got Don Robbie with me as we preview another weekend. How you doing, Robbie?
I'm good. You just caught me by surprise there. I was just looking at my phone quickly.
It's been a long international break, mate.
It's been a long and then this weekend, no games for Arsenal again because we're out of the FA Cup. Same with you guys, isn't it? Like, it's just weird that they've done that as well. That they've put the Premier League during the week and having the FA Cup this weekend. I never remember them doing that. But
I think they might have done it last year, but you're right, it is a joke. I mean, to be fair, we're both playing Tuesday, so it's not that long. But I still think two weekends without football is just ridiculous, especially when there is so much football being played. Why could we not have, some of us played at the weekend, considering we're not in the cup anyway, are we? So we could easily have our game. And what you could, well, no,
no, actually, because you would have had.
We've got Forest.
You couldn't, and we got Fulham. So imagine
they
that.
Could have put some. They could have put some there, definitely. Yeah. Just before we get into the games, Robbie is still winning by 2 points. It's win, lose, or draw. It's 46-44. Basically, I got a point back by going with an Everton West Ham draw, but then he got Newcastle to win the Carabao Cup, which I've got to say, he's done it again. He's dropped a golden nugget there with that, and it was very, 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 very well predicted, Robbie.
Yeah, no, I fancied them, man. They played well all the way. I saw what they did to us. They're a good side, very good side, and I saw how pumped and determined they were to win that. And I just had a feel, and then especially after Liverpool have really been slipping up recently, which really makes me feel so gutted that the owners of my football club decided not to strengthen in January. Because, if we would have been within striking distance, say even 5 points off Liverpool now, they might be feeling a bit of the jitters, but they got such a buffer that even with their little sort of slip-ups here and there, they're still going to comfortably win the league. It's crazy.
Well, we've got lots of games to predict, and I'm only 2 points behind, and it is the run-in now. And before we start predicting, we're going to do the FA Cup games and the Premier League games, which are starting on Tuesday. Before we get into that, there are two big stories. First of all, you talk about the run-in. Fabrizio Romano announcing yesterday that Saka will be back, and he'll be back fit for the Real Madrid game. I know there's a lot of Arsenal fans that were thinking this injury was bad. He might not come back before the end of the season. So it's absolutely fantastic news that he's back and he's going to play, Robbie.
Hold on, I'm still praying.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, this Arsenal Champions League campaign just took well, we were talking before the break about probably don't write them off. They won't be favourites, but bringing a player like that back, it's got to be a boost.
Huge. I mean, listen, it depends how he comes back, right? Because, I've seen Ben White, he's come back off of his injury and he has looked miles off the pace so far. So Saka could be back for the Fulham game. I wouldn't expect him to play a massive part in that. Same with Everton away next week. But if he can come through those two, then, there's a possibility he could start against Real Madrid. And that is huge for Arsenal. I mean, we've missed him badly, his goal contribution. I saw the other day that his stats are still up there despite him being out for nearly 4 months. Or 4 months, I say. So, it'd be huge. It'd be huge for us. I mean, just the fact that even if he comes off the bench against Real Madrid, just seeing him come on the pitch, the boost that will give to the place, that's good news. Really good news.
And I mean, I wasn't expecting him back, but as a non-Arsenal fan, I didn't actually know that was going to happen. So I think it's a really, really big boost. And I would like to see Arsenal beat Real Madrid in the Champions League. I'd like to see Arsenal. I don't know whether I want them to win it. I don't know whether I've got my head around that yet, but I'd certainly like to see the English clubs get through the next round, and then we'll deal with it then. But before we start predicting the Liverpool situation with Trent, I mean, somewhat surprised me, Robbie. I mean, I've done a live reaction to it. The Trent leaving to Madrid thing, I've sort of known as, I mean, and look, we're not Liverpool fans, but if you'd have asked me this at Christmas, I'd have said, yeah, he's going Madrid. Like I've always thought he was going Madrid, but I do understand Liverpool fans' frustration. To me, it's just modern football, and he's out of contract. He's run his contract down. It could happen to you with a player in a year or two.
Yep, he was always going Madrid. It does no surprise to me whatsoever, right? Like it came to January and everything just fell silent. I was just like, yeah, that's definitely gone. I remember last summer, right? We dropped a little exclusive over on AFTV because we were over there on our pre-season tour. We were over in LA. A couple of the guys went to this nightclub and saw Trent with Bellingham and all these Real Madrid players in the club. And then they didn't want any pictures being taken. They didn't want, they were really they're very funny about it. Like, we was just like, well, why would that be? Could he be heading to Madrid? He don't really want the Liverpool fans to sort of see him with those guys out. And I thought, yeah, as I said, it just looked on the cards all season. And now what happens to the other two? What happens to Salah? What happens to Van Dijk? Are they going? I think the big one is, they're both big. Those two are absolute key players. And if they go as well, I mean, Arne Slot is going to have a real task to replace them because they're almost, no players are irreplaceable, but those two are very difficult to replace. Even Trent,
Three massive
I see some Liverpool fans getting at him. I think, listen, he's been a good servant to the club. I think, it's not like I don't know. I think they need to give him a pass on this one. Yeah, I mean, these footballers do have careers. He's done a lot at Liverpool. He's going to win the league with them as well. And who wouldn't, after all he's done and he's been at a club all his life, to go and play at Real Madrid with Mbappe and, Bellingham, come on. You got to give a guy a pass.
Yeah, I've seen some people calling him a traitor and everything like that, and I just think, it's
Crazy.
it's not what Sol Campbell did, is it? It's not Spurs or Arsenal. It's he's.
So what? By the way, what Sol Campbell done was a traitor. He done the right thing.
But you know what I mean? It's like for a year, I've known for 6 months. I've just felt he was going to go. It's not a surprise that he's going to do it. No. Therefore, Liverpool have known for a long time. And what have they done? I mean, give him what Real Madrid are giving him, or maybe he just wants to go to Real Madrid. I think like some people just jumping in there, you don't know the circumstances, but I do understand how Liverpool fans feel. I get that. But looking at it from outside in, I mean, it happened when Ronaldo went to Real Madrid for Man United. It was, we didn't want him to go. He went to a better club. That in his mind, he went to a better club, and that's what Trent's doing. The fact that he's from Liverpool himself obviously makes it a little bit worse, but he wants to go and play for Real Madrid. And in the modern game, there's a lot of money. You've got a contract, and some people are running them down, aren't they? That's just the way it is. And like you said, losing Salah. I mean, look, I've predicted it. It's your year next year, Arsenal.
Don't tell me that, man.
It's yours to lose already, mate.
I don't. He's trying to put us under pressure already. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'll tell you if you say a year after the summer. What we do.
Yeah, you got a good chance there if you get the striker in. I suppose it depends what happens with City. We're still waiting on that. I thought that might be our big news story, but no, we still don't know yet. So we'll keep an eye on that. Right, let's get into win, lose, or draw. The score is, what did I say it was? It's 2-point lead for Robbie. It's 46-44. We're into the final run-in now. It's going to get fast and furious, and we're going to do the 4 FA Cup games, then into the Premier League games. So there's lots of points up for grabs. By my maths, I think we've got 14 games. So lots of points here, Robbie. We're going to start off with Saturday, 2 FA Cup ties. Fulham, Crystal Palace. I'll let the guest go first. He's out there in front. Fulham Palace, London Derby at Craven Cottage. Where are you going?
So hard to call this one, right? Because it's, two teams that will be really going for. That's what I like about the teams that are left in this, right? They're all going to really go for this. I'm going to go for Fulham just because they're at home. And I'm not sure if Mateta will be back. I think it's going to be a tight one, but I'm just going to go for Fulham just because they're at home. So I'm going to go, Fulham win.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's about where that's being played. Last round, we thought where you get some advantage if you're at home. And I think Crystal Palace has been so good recently, but I think I'd go Fulham on that one. Brighton against Forest. I'll go first on that. I'm going to go home. I think Forest have had a fantastic season, but Brighton have been good recently. International break as well. Let's not forget what it's like when you come back after a weekend, after a couple of weeks away. I think Forest have got a few internationals. So I'm just going to go home with that one, Brighton.
Yeah, I remember Forest humiliated Brighton. Was it 7-0? And then after that, Brighton have been on an unbeaten run. They've really bounced back well. The team that I'd really like to see win this, Brighton. I know a couple of people at a club, and when you look at where they've come from, that Wivstein Stadium to where they're at now, I mean, it's an incredible journey, and the way they do it right. I mean, I'm gonna go for a Brighton win. I think it's gonna be a really tight one though, because Forest as well, defending, counter attack, they're sort of made for cup competitions. Just edging Brighton win.
There we go. Into Sunday, 2 more. We've got your first on this one. I mean, actually, I think this one's quite easy. Then again, you never know. Preston are at home to Aston Villa.
Yeah, it'd be a massive shock if Preston won. Well done for them to even get this far. And I've been to Preston before. That place will be jumping. But you can't. Villa's got to win this. I mean, yeah, Villa win. It has to be. Look, with the firepower they've got, again, this would be huge for Aston Villa. It's the sort of team that should be winning trophies. So Villa win.
Yeah, I'm not going to mess about with this. I'm 2 points behind, and I think Villa should be winning that. But I tell you what, you never know. That's what the FA Cup's all about, and it just shows you that the last tie of the weekend, Bournemouth at home to Man City. If Bournemouth can knock Man City out, we'd have a really interesting cup semi-final because you'd probably have maybe Brighton, Fulham, Villa, Bournemouth for the cup, which I think would be great for the tournament. But Man City are such a threat. This is their season, really. So I can see. I mean, Bournemouth are good enough to win this game. They are good enough to win it. Sod it. I'm going to go with what I want and not what I think. I do think Man City might find a way through because it's their last grasp of silverware. But I'm going to go. I'm Bournemouth. I'm going Bournemouth, Robbie.
Do you know what? Right. That's what I was going to go. I was going to. Me always like to come with a little shock, right? And this would be a shock because, but seeing as you've gone Bournemouth, I mean, maybe I should go the other way because, I want to get these points on the board because, let me stick with the shock, man. Bournemouth with the shock, right? Again, narrow victory and City go out. No cups for them this season. Come on, Bournemouth.
It'd be great. It'd be absolutely great if it does happen. So I think we've literally gone all the same on the FA Cup, but we didn't know that was going to happen. Robbie's got to be careful about his 2-point lead now. It's the only title he's going to win, so he can't afford any risks. They've still got the Champions League. Funnily enough, we're into the Premier League games Tuesday, and we're starting off with Robbie's Arsenal at home to Fulham. Could be advantageous as well. Well, it depends. We were talking about this before. The league, really. I mean,
it's done for us.
You've got to take it seriously, though, haven't you?
But yeah, you want to like with Arsenal. Listen, it's all about finishing strongly, right? And I think we've got an advantage in this game because that is going to be Fulham playing on Saturday, and then a really intense game against Palace in the FA Cup. Really got to go for it, hell for leather, and then coming away to us in the next game. I think that helps us a lot, especially the way Fulham play. Pressing. I'm going to go for an Arsenal win. We should be fresher. We're at home. We find it tough against Fulham at home in recent seasons. There's been quite a few draws in there, but I'm going to go for a win.
Well, this is where I've got to start playing. I'm going to go for a Fulham draw. I think that they need the points in the Premier League because they want to obviously do well for Europe, and I think Arsenal maybe might be a little bit flat after the international break. It's a long break, and they've got the Champions League in their mind. So I'm just going to go for a bit of a shock here. I need to start getting some points, so I'm going to go with a draw.
I know, man. If Saka's running along that line, warming up, it's all of a sudden a different complexion on that game. It's like, I'm going Arsenal win.
Fulham will be 2 up then. Bring him on, you'll get a draw. Next one, I'll go with this. I'm actually going to go. This has served me well in the past. Wolves, West Ham. I went with a draw for West Ham against Everton, and that got me a point last time. So Wolves against West Ham again. I can't see there being many goals in this one, so I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go for another draw here. I fancy another draw. Wolves at the Molineux against West Ham. Both pretty much on the beach as well. Yeah, go for a draw.
I'm going for a Wolves win. If you're Wolves, right, you just go hell for leather on every game now because I think they get one more. I think they're 9 points clear of the relegation zone. You get one win, you're safe. So you may as well go for it on every single game. I'm going to go for a Wolves win.
There we go. Massive game on Tuesday night. Before we go to the Wednesdays, it's Forest at home to Manchester United. Forest, obviously, in third place at the moment in the Premier League. I think they're almost at the point where they're going to get it. But winning games at home is going to help them get it. Man United, a little bit better before the international break, but also like Arsenal, it's all about Europe. Forest will have played that cup game on the Saturday. This is Man United's first game back after 2.5 weeks. Where are you going with this one, Robbie?
Do you know what, right? I think this is where pressure starts to sort of sit on Forest. They've been brilliant, especially against all the top sides. You know, they drew with us at home. They drew with Liverpool at home. You know what I mean? I think they beat City. I mean, they're good at home. But I don't know, it's pressure now as well. And they've got that game. I'm going to go for a draw in this one. I think United have improved a lot in recent weeks. I think, you know, Ruben Amorim, has started to switch up his tactics a bit more defensive in these games. He's sort of recognising the opposition. I'm going to go for a draw.
Yeah, I was going to go for a draw, but to be fair, that would be 3 in a row, which is never going to happen. And also, I've got to go to different to you as much as I can these days. Well, I'm not going to go Forest win. I'm going to go United win then. So you've got to go risky on your own team. So I'm going to
force him into it, people. Forest. I forced him into it.
Yeah, he's forced me into it. But
see them tactical moves there, like tactical maneuvers, right? I've got him. You know what I mean?
This is why.
But no, listen, I wouldn't discount that. But I just
be a shock.
I don't see Forest losing, but for some reason I don't see him winning just because it's pressure time, you know?
I think I think a draw is the best score, and you've got it. But that's why it's best if you go first sometimes. Yeah, I'll go with the United win on that one. Right, into Wednesday, there are 6 games here. Yeah, easy. It's you first anyway. No, me first on this one. I've wasted going first on this. Bournemouth, Ipswich, Bournemouth, easy home win, regardless if they played the day before, let alone the weekend before. Play with 9 men.
Yeah. Yeah, Bournemouth win.
There you go. Brighton. Oh, this is a good one. This is a good one, actually. There's a couple of good ones on the Wednesday. I'm glad that United are playing on the Tuesday because there's some good ones on the Wednesday. I'll watch this. Brighton at home to Villa. Brighton going for top 5. Villa going for top 5. Arguably the game of the week, really. Brighton home to Villa.
It's a great game.
First, Robbie.
Yeah, great game. That's a Brighton win.
He loves Brighton. Knows a couple of people at the club. Apparently, he's never mentioned.
No, I do actually, but it's not just that, right? It's just the way they've been playing recently. They've been playing really well. Villa just sometimes 1 week they play really well, then the next week they're average. I don't know. I'm just going to go with a Brighton. I was going to go draw, but yeah, Brighton win. I'll stick with a Brighton win.
I'm going to go draw on that. Yeah. I'm tempted to go Villa away, but I just think, I'll go draw.
Yeah, so you can go either. All 3 scenarios can work out in that game. Yeah. All 3.
Whoever wins it, great result for them in the Champions League spots.
Huge.
Why am I getting these? Man City at home to Leicester. Bloody Man City. Come on. Leicester are so bad. They're so bad. Like, there's just no point. Don't even play it. Save the petrol money.
Yeah, it's true.
Take a 4-0 loss and just give Haaland a hat-trick. Yeah.
Yeah. Haaland must be just rubbing his hands for that, right? Yeah, that's a City win.
This is interesting because we both got this wrong last time. Brentford went to Bournemouth and we were like Bournemouth and Brentford won. They've got really good on the road. They're playing Newcastle at St James's Park. First game for them since they've won the Carabao Cup. Do you see any shocks there, Robbie? You first again?
No, I'm going to go for a Newcastle win here. Sort of, homecoming type game. Fans will be excited. I mean, listen, one thing about Brentford, they can be good spoilers, man. They're sort of team just rock up and just don't care. I do have a lot of respect for them as well. I like Brentford as a club, but yeah, I'm going to go for a Newcastle win. They're at home, so I'm going to go for them.
Just looking at the league table, they're actually Brentford they're 6 points behind Newcastle, but Newcastle have got a game in hand.
Yeah. If Newcastle have to win.
Newcastle win their game in hand, they are 4th. And I think they're going to go like a train now. So I'll go Newcastle. And Newcastle
They
at
have
home
to
as
win.
well. Got a
They
great
have to
chance.
win. It's going to be interesting to see how Newcastle handle the pressure. I know they did well in the cup, but remember now they're at the stage now. You have to win these games. It's a different pressure. You can't draw. Can't draw at Brentford. That's a bad result at home. Have to win. So it's not an easy game. I'm going for them to win, but it wouldn't shock me if that was a draw or even a loss.
Southampton, Crystal Palace. Me again. I mean, Southampton. I'm getting some right bad first picks here. There's no jeopardy. I can't get in first on anything that's decent. I mean, yeah, Crystal Palace, Southampton are crap.
Yeah, they're crap.
He wants to go with Southampton, but he knows.
I was trying to think, could this be my shock? No. No shocks, man. Palace win.
Liverpool, Everton. To be honest, I'll probably watch Brighton Villa, but I normally would have watched Liverpool, Everton. But I think Brighton Villa's got more on it. Everton have got themselves out of trouble. Liverpool basically got the title, and it's not at Goodison for the last time. We've already had that. It's at Anfield. Yeah, I mean, was you, Robbie, first on that one? I suppose. Well, it is, yeah.
Yeah, it's at Anfield, isn't it? Could Everton get? Everton always give them a little fight, but it's mainly at Goodison where they're better. At Anfield, they're not as good. You got to go Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm just thinking Liverpool have had a bad run, but
still been all right in the league, though, really, haven't they? So
yeah. The best I could see is a draw, but I don't actually think Everton. No, I'll go Liverpool win. Don't talk myself into something stupid there. Liverpool win. And then the final game is on a Thursday at 8:00. It's Chelsea against Tottenham. Tottenham having a terrible season. Chelsea need to get themselves back into this top four race, but they were really disappointing before the break against Arsenal. But Spurs, I mean, it's almost how many games can they lose before? Well, whilst they're in the Europa League, he's gonna survive, isn't he, Robbie? But they have lost 15 Premier League games. They'd be fourth bottom on lost games. They've lost more than West Ham. Everton, in context, have got the same points, but they've lost 9. Spurs have got 34 points as well. They've lost 15. Yeah, I can't go anywhere other than a Chelsea win. And again, a little bit like Newcastle, the pressure's on Chelsea because they've got to win it. And I think they've got Jackson back as well. So, I mean, not that that's, I mean, was that a good thing or a bad thing? But Cole Palmer will be back. They've got to beat Spurs. But...
Yeah. Jackson makes a big difference to them because he's the outlet, even though he misses chances, right? But he does score some, and he's an outlet. They've really lacked that. I saw that when they played us. This game, for Chelsea is like Spurs are their biggest rivals. It's funny because you obviously the North London derby, like massive. This is like the other game that, we all remember the Battle of the Bridge. Chelsea do not like losing to Spurs. There's a lot of hatred between the two teams. This one is it's on when this game's happening. And because this game's at Stamford Bridge, that place is going to be pumped. Chelsea have had a long rest of Spurs, of course, but I just cannot see anything apart from a Chelsea win, right? Because they have to win. They have to win. They have to. I mean, their last game they lost to us. You're talking about Tottenham's manager, Maresca, lost to Arsenal. And then go and lose to Tottenham straight after that. Then your job starts to be in jeopardy, in serious jeopardy. Drop out of the top 4 possibly. Nah, this is an absolute must win for Maresca. But I do think they'll get over the line. I think this will be a good game, but I've got to go with Chelsea.
I reckon I'm in trouble this week. I think Robbie getting first on some of the more divisive things has forced me into stealing things.
You picked them, mate. You picked the orders on it. Yeah.
I know, but I always let the guests go first.
Excuses already.
I'm going first on bloody Southampton, Leicester, and bloody other crap teams. You're getting first on
picked them,
Forest,
right?
Man United, which I wanted to draw.
You're trying to make excuses and that, like up front, right? You picked them. You picked the order of it. I just went with what you went with.
I'm on your channel now, I know. I'm either a genius or an idiot. I think there's 2-point gaps. If you let us know in the comments, I think it's getting bigger, or otherwise I've pulled off a worldie. I need a few draws, that's for sure.
Yeah,
I
but you
need a
never
Forest
know.
win. Forest win at City Ground. Sorry, not Forest win. United win. I don't need a Forest win. Wouldn't be too bad. Well, no, I don't want that. But at least you didn't go for that. You went for a draw, didn't
That's
you?
not impossible, right? Because I think I've seen signs recently. United are playing better, and you know what it is, like United, they'll do the low blocking on. I think that'll be the right tactic on Forest, and then try and catch them on the counter. And Bruno's on form. That's not. I think United have picked it up. I got to hand it to Amarin. He's picked it up a bit.
Yeah, and also I think we need to probably get something out of that, because we've got Newcastle in between Lyon. We're probably going to rotate for that, so we'll get beat at there. So we could do with getting a. Yeah, I'm feeling a bit better now. Robbie, absolute legend. Thanks for coming on, and of course, everybody in the chat, get involved in the comments as well. FA Cup weekend. It's not proper football, but it's still football, and I think we need that. And obviously, we've got Premier League next week, and then I'll be on DR Sports on Monday morning. So thanks for coming on, mate.
See you then.
Cheers, everyone.